Alright guys, this is gonna be a new game and it's about an OG content, Senseiya. So for those of you guys who do not know, I actually started out my YouTube channel covering a Senseiya game. So this series, this IP always have a special place in my heart. And it's good to cover another game. Well, not cover, but introduce another game of this IP. I always feel like Senseiya deserve a lot more love and also attention than we currently get in at least in the English speaking world. It's massive in like Asia. It's also quite massive in like Spanish speaking community, also in the French community, I believe. But in the English speaking community, like no one even heard of Senseiya, which is quite sad. So I do really want to showcase this. Yeah, let's see what this game is all about, right? So this game is gonna be called Senseiya Galaxian Explosion. Not sure whether this is an official game. I have already played the game briefly just to see what kind of content there are. It feels like pretty weird. Like it has a bunch of different IP mixed in. By IP, I mean like different series of the Senseiya franchise. So it's a bit interesting one. I will show you guys the actual gameplay later on. But first of all, how do you guys actually install it if you do want to give it a try? So this video is sponsored by X7 Game, and that's where I'll be downloading this game from. So basically, I'll share this link in the comment section. You basically click on that link, click on either the download for the iOS or the Android. That will basically download X7 Game platform rather than the game itself. X7 Game is essentially like a Chinese version of Google Play. So if you actually open up the APK once you download it, it will pop up something like this. As you can see, pretty much similar layout as Google Play. You can then search for whatever game you want to play. But the first thing I normally recommend people to do, especially if you're going to play multiple games from X7 Game platform, is that you actually want to log in. And basically, the way you're going to log in is basically you go to this Me tab, you click on Home, and then you can enter either log in via Gmail or you can just enter any email address that you have, and then your email code to. So you don't need to create a dedicated password. You basically can log in with that code. And then after you have logged in, you can then search for whichever game you want to play. So this time around, it's going to be Seiya, and the one we want to try today is obviously Galaxian Explosion. If you have followed me from Legend of Justice, this is the first game I've been covering. You can play the Chinese version of this game as well, right? So if you actually want to get ahead of all of the global players and actually try out the Chinese version to see all of the new knights, etc., you can also download the hit. But like I said, the one I'm going to showcase today is going to be Galaxian Explosion. Okay, now let me show you what this game is all about. So when you first open up, this will be the launch screen and you can choose which server you want. So obviously just choose the latest one available. And then this game, I feel like it's already in English because there's no translation patch. So normally what happens is for X7 games, if you click on this utility button, there will be a translation, and sometimes there's a tab called patch, and that will actually then able to apply that English patch for the game. But for this one, the patch is not available, and it seems like everything's already English. So maybe this was already released to global at some point in the past. Not sure. Now, let me show you the actual game and what it's about. So, first of all, it's just a standard gacha. There's a bit of idle system, so you can see you are gonna get some resources by simply just having the game running in the background. If you actually want to do very different bits and bobs, so obviously the main thing is kind of collection of the very different knights from the franchise. You are able to equip them with equipment. You are also able to train them up. Every single time when they actually level up, they will be able to unlock some skills, and obviously different characters have different skills. There are also other bits and bobs where you can use to further buff them up. I haven't unlocked everything because I don't have the character at level 100 yet, but there are definitely different things you can do. There are also skins, something which is quite cool. I'll show you later on. Some of the skins does look very, very good. And if you do actually have dupes for the character, you can rank them up in terms of their star level as well, okay? So quite standard kind of like gacha character development point of view. Now, in terms of the combat system, the way this works is that you basically there's a story mode which I go through. There are probably other modes as well which I haven't fully unlocked. But basically, you have a team of 5 characters. You are then basically able to put 2 characters on the top. Oh, sorry. Let me try to check what this is about. So basically, there's some kind of like formation bonus depending on what type of characters you have. Okay, there's a bit of rock paper scissors relationship here. I haven't actually unlocked this goddess yet, so I'm not sure what that is going to be like. But the way you want to do it is basically obviously place your tank unit or the protector units out in the front row, and then you have more of your damage dealing ones at the back. Once you decided the formation, obviously try to go for some bit of a synergy between your characters. What you can then do is go into battle. Now you can either play this manually or auto. All of the character basic attack will be automatically done anyway. However, if you do actually have it on manual, the ultimate attack wouldn't be activated till you actually press on. Okay, the ultimate attack I feel like it's quite good graphic, but there's no animation. Okay, but the graphic itself for the attack I feel like is quite decent. There's just no cutscene or anything like that, so it's pretty straightforward. And basically you just kind of continue to progress the story mode. There isn't really much of storyline, so I don't think they're trying to reinvent the storyline from Seiya or try to replicate it. It's literally just a straightforward idle game where you get resources in the background and then you have like an auto system. There's literally like no advantage, I feel like, of not playing that auto because unless you actually want to save up your attack for certain scenarios, otherwise, vast majority of the time you should just be putting on auto. The battle is pretty fast as well, especially once you have actually unlocked the ×2 speed. You should be able to actually go through the story mode fairly fast. And you kind of just rinse and repeat, right? You get the resource in the background, you level up your character, then you go and progress in the storyline. Okay, now let me show you the actual summoning in this game because it is actually a big part of Gacha. So if we just do a temple now, let's check out animation. So I'll go gold meteor, I guess. So I'm not sure what that means. Basically, like a SSR character, or whatever they call the rarity in this game. Shining Legend, Kraken Isaac. Okay, interesting. I'll show you all of the characters available in this game. I do actually like some of the design. Oh, two shining characters. I think that's pretty decent. Can we do another pool? I don't have enough. Okay, I might farm a bit more. But in terms of the banners, you can see there's this one where you can go and specify what element you want. So therefore, you have a bit more focused chance of actually getting one of them. There's this advanced summon, which is the one we just got. You actually get pity in the form of this. So basically, once you actually done thousands, I'm not actually sure how many does each one give. I feel like I only done temple here and I got 220. So maybe each temple is going to be 200 points. So if that's actually going to be the case, that basically means 5 times and you can already hit pity, I guess, and then get a shiny legendary saint. Then you have the normal summon. So this is the one where you can get like a daily free summon, which is quite nice. And then you also have the friend. Oh, also for the advanced summon, you can also get one daily for free, I believe. And that's why I have 220. So I feel like each single counts as 20 points. In fact, let me just test it out now. I can do a single. I was at 221 before. Oh, purple? What's purple? Purple doesn't feel like anything special. Okay, yeah, 240. So basically, yeah, for 50 summons, so only 5 multi, and you can already guarantee 1 shining legendary knight. And that's not bad, actually, I have to say, that's not bad. Outside of this, there's also the wish recruit as well, so wish summon. So here you can actually choose which one you get. And this one's actually quite nice because in terms of different rarity of the character, your pity is then going to be slightly different. So depending on whether you want to go for the highest rarity, in which case you actually need to do 60 summons in order to guarantee. But if you're okay to go with one of the lower rarity, you can see it actually drops by quite a bit. So depending on what character you're actually aiming for, this can actually be a pretty good deal to actually get those characters as well. Vast majority of the time, I'm gonna assume you'll be trying to aim for the highest tier. Now, in terms of characters actually available in this game, there's a good bunch, and I actually have to say, it's quite interesting because I have no idea what kind of logic or what kind of order they're adding the character. Because if I actually go through them, what you're gonna see here is you're gonna get paradox. This is from Sensei Show, I believe, or Sensei, one of the spin-off for Sensei. Maybe Omega, actually. Yeah, I think this is from Sensei Omega, which is quite interesting. But also at the same time, I think this is the only character I saw from Sensei Omega. And then you also have, where's another person? Nasu Veronica. I'm pretty sure he's from Lost Canvas. So once again, there's not actually a lot of character from Lost Canvas. So it feels like they are trying to expand it to other series of Senseiya. But it's a bit weird because they're not doing it in order. It's not like saying they are doing, for example, all of the Lost Canvas character first, and then move on to the next series. They seem to be just adding some random character from each of the franchise. So it's going to be quite interesting to see exactly what they're going to add in terms of the event, etc. The other thing which I also found quite cool is that there are going to be skins for the character. So there's, for example, this one for Athena. Some of the ones actually look really cool. I quite like this one for Paradox as well. So you get this duo. This one for Hugo is insane as well. Just look at this. It turns into some kind of like complete ice frozen statue armor, which is quite cool. This evil Sega one was also pretty nice. It turns him into like kind of like a vampire kind of vibe. Maybe it's like a Halloween special event, and that's kind of what they have done here. You can see all of the bats flying around, and then he get turned into a bit of a vampire. Once again, pretty cool. Really good animation, I'm just saying. Shaka have this one which is more like Buddha-like. Who is it? Saga. Once again, pretty cool. This is more like a futuristic view with something like floating behind him. But yeah, a lot of like really cool designs. This one, I have no idea what he's trying to be, but with all of the masks, it feels like a bit of like a superhero or maybe like a almost like a motorcycle racer, in my opinion. But yeah, there's some really cool skins. I have to say that I feel like, oh, this one for Random is also really decent. It's like a flaming demon. Very cool design. I'll have to say, this is probably going to be the biggest part for this game for me. Is the gacha system. It feels like it's pretty easy to summon because literally, 5 times or 5 multis, you can already get one legendary character, and then also from the wish summon, if you're not going for the highest tier, but just more for collection purposes, because some of the ones have really good skins and costume, then it's also going to be quite easy to summon for them, at least it seems like. So yeah, so those are probably the biggest selling point for me. There are obviously lots of other events that you can also go through. I haven't unlocked everything yet, but I definitely feel like if you are a big fan of the series, the gacha system is quite appealing, and I think you can definitely give this game a try just for collection purpose. Okay, let me know what you guys think of this game.